Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga. I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening, is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So time war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit life. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that's featured, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Mere fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
what's in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Damn rounds on the highway. One thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, at my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. How when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah. Fuck, I'm talking about that. Hey, tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is, tell me what you wanna do. Put sad boy plotting on who? I done seen it all before I came through. Must don't understand, nigga, I'm in the truth, playing mad nigga. But they cracker trying to shoot shit my way. 100 down rides on the highway. Only thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn the Sharface. Yeah, I'm up in South Beach with this shit, nigga, Miami. Fuck on me. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. I'm always in the field, always dressed to kill, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? But your pussy boy, you ain't talking about nothing, but you ain't making noise. You ain't on that shit that you thought you was. Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? They don't even know that. Shooting at me and I'm a throwback. I don't look back, that's a throwback. No, I don't look sad, cause I'm on that. Boy, get shot at the top, that's a toe tag. Lame man, cracker don't want the guns on me. But these people wanna know everything. But the booze and the chica, I tell these soft ass boys how to think. When I'm on my grind and they hate. Yeah, my nutsack on these fuck niggas when I don't give a fuck. What they be hating on, cause I'm up, nigga. What the fuck, nigga? Who the fuck these niggas thought they was? Yeah, all the time a nigga growing. All the time a nigga knowing. Gotta stack it up, keep that bitch flowing. Hey, tell me how it is, tell me how you feel, tell me what it is. Gotta flip the deal, gotta keep the steel, killer being killed. Nah, nigga, for real, I'm ready for the nigga, ready for the war, nigga. But they crack trying to shoot shit my way. 100 down rounds on the highway. Only thing I got in this lifestyle, that's my boss, bitch, and my wordplay. Hey, when I get mad, turn the Scarface. Now when I get mad, turn the Scarface. We up here with the scene, nigga, with the Colombians, cutting niggas' heads off and shit. Tell me how it is, tell me how you feel. Always just a kid, shoot 'em up the hill. Gotta keep it still, nah, nigga, for real. Heady boy, I think they talking about. Why X out your rank, walking on your sand. On the highway, chasing out the bands. Boy, wanna hate, they don't understand. Boy, wanna hate, soft two cans. Sam, man, nigga. I told you for that nigga don't know it. Yeah, chasing out the one, I love that shit. Cause the thrill of the hunt keep me on my shit. Yeah, the deck on my hip with a stand-up club. Yeah, motherfucker, we'll kill your ass. We'll motherfucking dissect your ass. Cut a head off, put a body for the buzzers. Matter of fact, fuck them buzzers, nigga. You know we head hunters. Hey, call nigga Sharface, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? Yeah.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ.
fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
All right. Shalom, Lord in Christ. This is the Isupk. We started out on 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander Jonah Yohana, and we teach that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the First Nation men and women are the true children of the Bible, right? And that it's up to us to come back into these laws, statutes, and commandments to do the will of the Lord so we can come back to our power, right? So we come back to the natural way of doing things, you know what I mean? Black and Hispanic, man, we are the true rulers of this kingdom. All right, let's get that clear. We are the true rulers of this kingdom. You know what I mean? The nations that are in power right now are not supposed to be there. They have taken our spot. They have taken our seat. Why? Because we decided to disobey God. We decided to eat pork. We decided to eat shrimp, lobster. You know what I mean? We decided to commit adultery. We decided to go against the laws of God. You know what I mean? And truthfully, and through the Christian church, people have thought that Jesus Christ is a Democrat or whatever, you know what I mean? They think the Bible is about democracy, is about free choice, but really how I explain it, you know what I mean? The Christ is a dictator, you know what I mean? Either you follow his laws or you don't and die behind it, you know what I mean? That is the end result. That is the end result of you disobeying the Most High, right? Can you give me Joshua 1:6? You know what I mean? Con, Joshua 1:6. I'm gonna bring it on my computer too. 1 second. You know what I mean? Because I was going through Facebook today, man, and I seen a very horrible, disturbing video. This sister was talking about how she went in to get her wisdom teeth taken out, right? And they put her to sleep under anesthesia. And she said everything was fine, but a few weeks went by and her stomach was feeling upset. So the sister had went down to the doctor's office, and turns out that she had became pregnant, right? And she said, "How am I pregnant?" You know what I mean? She said she has been practicing abstinence for a couple of years now. And the same amount of time went by, and she retraced her steps, and her pregnancy was around the time that she went into the dentist's office to get her anesthesia. So long story short, the sister was assaulted while under anesthesia, right? And that is a very, I didn't even know that was a thing, that doctors actually did that. You know what I mean? But I was doing my research on it, and it's a very common practice, you know what I mean? Some sick doctors and dentists do. And most of the time it's happening to, you know what I mean, to Black and Hispanic women, you know what I mean? Because nobody believes us, you know what I mean? Nobody believes when we cry. Nobody believes that when we have these things happen, they think it's consensual and things of those nature. And so that's what really led me to bring into this class today, and for me to really stand firm on the Most High God, you know what I mean? Because these are acts of war at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like they are warring against our nation and against our sisters that are unprotected, you know what I mean? And they don't really know how. So whoever has that verse, they can read it for me. Joshua 1:6.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Be strong of a good courage.
Right. It says, be strong and of a good courage. You know what I mean? Listen, once we realize that these laws, statutes, commandments are our power, you know what I mean? We have one thing to do. Is to be strong and of good courage, man, because the scriptures come to give us hope, right? Keep going.
For unto this people shall thou divide for an inheritance the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear unto their fathers to give them.
Right, which we swore unto our fathers to give them. This dates back all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I mean? That's where he's talking about our fathers. They have the promise. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Only be thou strong and very courageous,
that
thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses, my servant, commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left.
Right. So what that was saying is, it says, don't turn to the left or to the right. You know what I mean? Stay on a straight path. You know what I mean? You can't deviate from the scriptures. You can't make up your own laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, you know what I mean, God knows my heart. Or a very popular when it comes to the Sabbath day, Christians be like, you know what I mean, I can worship God all 7 days of the week. You know what I mean? But Christ has determined that the Sabbath day is on Saturday, right? And our enemies put the Sunday as a Sabbath. Keep going.
That thou mayest prosper wheresoever thou goest.
Right.
Wheresoever thou goest, Salaki.
No problem. That we will prosper no matter which way you go. You know what I mean? And that is what happened. Matter of fact, you go to 8.
Verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Right. So not depart out your mouth. Keep going.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Exactly. Like, we got to meditate on God's laws day and night. And that's something that I do. Like when I'm at the crib, I'm always listening to Isupk. You know what I mean? I'm always listening to a class. I'm always listening to a debate. You know what I mean? Even on my downtime. You know what I mean? And I even sometimes I just started just falling asleep with it playing. You know what I mean? Because I heard a study that, I mean, that kind of stuff goes into your consciousness while you're sleeping. You know what I mean? So you want to live, breathe, do this every single day. Keep going.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Right.
And then thou shalt have good success.
Right. And then we should have good success. This is the only formula that we need to survive in this wretched world. You know what I mean? To survive in our slavery, to survive here. You know what I mean? We have to do these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's it. All right. Go to verse 9.
Verse 9. Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid.
Right.
Neither be thou dismayed.
Right. Dismayed is don't be scared or confused. You know what I mean? Don't be none of that. The Lord is with you. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God is with thee,
whatsoever
thou goest.
Right. You drop that. Drop down to Joshua 5:13. You know what I mean? Because I know the topic. You know what I mean? This is about war in our hearts, and we know that war is inevitable. You know what I mean? Especially when we come into the truth, we have to fight our flesh constantly. You know what I mean? And there's also a physical war that we're going to have to do. As we'll go over in the examples to come, you know what I mean? In the Bible, whenever the Israelites disobeyed God, they would lose the war. But when they would obey the Most High and his laws, they would win the war. And this is what it's all about. You go ahead.
And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho,
right,
that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. Right. So now this is Joshua right before he went into right before the battle of Jericho. You know what I mean? He's looking and he sees a man far away with his sword drawn, and he's asking him, you know what I mean? Are you with us? Oh wait, I slack it. I jumped the gun. Go ahead. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, art thou for us or for our adversaries? Right. So Joshua didn't know who this man was, but he said, are you for us or are you for your adversaries? You know what I mean? He didn't know this was a friend or a foe, right? But let's find out who he is. Go ahead. And he said, nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord am I now come? Exactly. And this is real tough. I really enjoyed this part when I was studying the scripture. You know what I mean? Christ himself came down in glory. You know what I mean? And he appeared to Joshua. He says, I'm the captain of the host of the Lord. You know what I mean? And Joshua fell on his face because this is a holy thing that's happening right here. Keep going. And Joshua fell to his face to the earth, on his face, Salakia, on his face to the earth,
Right.
and did worship, and said unto him, what saith my Lord unto his servant?
Right. We can drop that. All right. We go to the book of the first Maccabees, chapter 1. You know what I mean? First Maccabees, chapter 1. I'm gonna get there on my laptop too, man. So, and that is who is commanding Israel, right? Now, remind you, Joshua was in charge of Israel at the time. So when this man spoke and said, I am the captain of the host of Israel, you know what I mean? He knew who that was. He was talking about the Most High. He was talking about Christ, first of all. You know what I mean? That was Christ coming down, right? Matter of fact, give me Revelations chapter 19 and verse 13 first before we go to first Maccabees. You know what I mean? We'll show you why this is Christ. We get to my computer as well. Revelations 19. And whoever read it can start reading. Whoever got it can start reading. Verse 13.
So Revelations 19 and 13.
Colin.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 19 and verse 13.
Right.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
Right.
And his name is called the Word of God.
Right. Now we go to first Maccabees, chapter 1 and 1. You see, Christ is called the Word. His vesture was dipped in blood, you know what I mean? And that's similar to what Joshua saw, you know what I mean? Like that's before Christ started doing the unaliving and afterwards, you know what I mean? He had that sword drawn, ready to kill the inhabitants of Jericho to let Joshua know that he was in control, that he had this battle already in his hand, you know what I mean? And that is important when we are doing these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Because we fight with the Most High God. We fight with Christ. You know what I mean? So whenever we are in a situation, just know that our captain, our head is the God of Israel. You know what I mean? Is Christ, our King, and nobody can beat him. The Bible says, if God be with us, who can be against us? You know what I mean? And when I was going through here, I was always taught that if you ever lose we should never lose a battle. You know what I mean? If you truly serve the Most High, you should never lose a battle, right? All right, let's go to the book of Maccabees real quick, man. Book of Maccabees. Hold up. First Maccabees, chapter 1, right? And this is also how we prove that the Apocrypha is a part of the Bible, because it has real historic figures inside there, right? One being Alexander the Great. We all heard about him before, right? He's actually inside the book of Maccabees, right? Whoever got it can start reading.
The book of Maccabees, First Maccabees,
right.
Chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim,
right,
had smitten Darius, king of Persia, Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
Right. Now, so I know we all know the history about Alexander the Great, you know what I mean? How he conquered all those surrounding nations with him, you know what I mean? This is what the Bible is talking about. This is how we know that the Apocrypha is real and that it's supposed to be here, right? Keep going.
And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. And so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Right, so the earth was quiet before him. Then nobody could stand against the Romans at this time. Nobody. Keep going. The Greeks, Slakia, the Greeks. Keep going.
Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could,
yes.
I love what you're doing as far as solidifying Apocrypha, because I've had conversations in the past and brothers had no idea.
Right.
And one of the things outside of what you point out, and I would point out, is the fact that King James had it translated with the original King James Bible in 1611. But, you know, most Christians have no idea about that.
Right.
Because somebody who follows a slightly different religion outside of them, the Protestants decided to, you know, take it out.
And that's why we're here. You know what I mean? They shed light on the situation.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? That's all we're doing. You keep reading if you want.
God. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries,
right,
and nations,
right,
and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick,
right,
and perceived that he should die.
Exactly. And this is also part of history. You know what I mean? I think Alexander died around 32, right? And to this day, historians don't know what happened to him. That it's either he died from a sickness, you know what I mean? That's what it's leaning to, either sickness or assassination, but he died suddenly. You know what I mean? Proving that the Bible is correct even further. All right. Let's drop down to let's jump down to verse 10. No, Salakia, let's keep going to verse 9.
Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. Right. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right. So evils were multiplied in the earth. You know what I mean? Once these Europeans started taking control of the earth, everything evil started multiplying. You know what I mean? Worse than ever before. And we can see the effects of it today. Right. Keep going.
Verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Right. So Antiochus is also a real person in history. You can literally go Google his name and he'll pop up. You know what I mean? Antiochus. Keep going.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. Verse 11.
Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
Israel had wicked men as usual, right? Keep going.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
This is a problem with Israel. We always want to go out and make a covenant with the heathen, man. We always want to do this. Why? Time and time again, you know what I mean? We fall for the same trap. We fall for the same trick. Keep going.
For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Hey, Slakia. So right there, right? We always want to, we have so much love for the other nations, you know what I mean? And so when you've been in captivity for so long and you're beginning to separate yourself from the heathen, right? There's always some sort of house nigga, right? That will always try to lead us back to it. Hence Martin Luther King Jr., right? Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, you know what I mean? Try to join us to the Arabs. But we always find out that we're at the bottom, no matter what, man. We always somebody trying to join us to the heathen. Keep going.
So this is pleased, Salakia. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Right.
So now the Israelites, we even got licenses, you know what I mean? Practice. And what do we call that today? It's the same thing. You need a license to do stuff, right? You know what I mean? You need a license to do something evil. You know what I mean? You get a marriage license to marry two men or marry two women. You know what I mean? Because they want to multiply the evils in this earth. You know what I mean? So the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So the same thing they was doing back then is the same thing they're doing now, right? Let's go. (14)
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Right. So that's talking about the Roman Colosseum. You know what I mean? Very famous, where they did a lot of sports. You know what I mean? They did a lot of killing, like the gladiator stuff like that. That's where it started at. Right. Keep going.
And made themselves uncircumcised,
Mm-hmm.
and forsook the holy covenant,
Right.
and joined themselves to the heathen.
And we forsook our holy covenant. You know what I mean? Made ourselves uncircumcised. Right. All this just to join the heathen. Like, we always want to assimilate with people. You know what I mean? We always want to assimilate with the enemy. Right. Keep going.
And were sold to do mischief.
Uh-huh.
Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion over 2 realms.
So you jump down to verse 20, right?
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt.
Right. So just to give a quick recap, Antiochus went to war with Egypt, right? He went to war with Egypt and conquered Egypt, and now he's going to Israel to conquer them, right? Keep going.
He returned again in the 143rd year,
Uh-huh.
and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude,
Right.
and entered proudly into the sanctuary.
Right. So this heathen entered proudly in our sanctuary. You know what I mean? Like, he took his army and he started conquest against the Israelites. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And took away the golden altar,
Uh-huh.
and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold,
Right.
and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he had pulled off.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 23. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly.
Right. So after he started genocide in the Israelites, you know what I mean? It's very common once you're a conquered people, you know what I mean? They start committing genocide, you know what I mean, taking and killing everybody, right? Keep going.
Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel,
Uh-huh.
in every place where they were,
Right.
so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were made feeble,
Mm-hmm.
and the beauty of women was changed.
Right. It says the beauty of women was changed, right? Now imagine that's your sisters, you know what I mean? Our sisters, they was looking real good, you know what I mean? We had the best of everything, right? And then they get conquered and captured, and now they don't have the same apparel that they had, you know what I mean? Now they're looking dirty and dusty, you know what I mean? It's something that happens when you conquered in war. And also once you're a conquered people, right, you start dressing like the oppressor. Now it's the blonde hair, now it's the blue eyes, you know what I mean? Now the European woman is what they want to look at. You know what I mean? Now we as black men, now we look at the oppressor's daughter like she is so great, and she is not. You know what I mean? Like the white woman is trash, and we should all know that by now. You know what I mean? And also, do y'all remember the dog test, right? Where they had the black kids do it and the white kids do it, right? And the black kids always pointed towards each other to the black doll and said, "That is ugly." You know what I mean? And that is because that's because we are a conquered people, right? And the beauty has changed. Now we view ourselves as ugly, right? Hey, we're going to do a lot of reading, so if you want to pass it to somebody else whenever you can.
Yeah.
All right, we are on verse 27.
Verse 27. Every bridegroom took up limitation,
Uh-huh.
and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
Right.
And the land also moved of the inhabitants thereof.
Mhm.
And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Right. All the house of Jacob was covered with confusion, man. They don't know what's going on. Like, look at the Black Hispanic culture today. You know what I mean? We're still in confusion. Being the people in slavery, we are still in confusion. We don't know what's up, what's right, what's wrong. You know what I mean? There's always problems with like relationships. You know what I mean? Everybody got a podcast out there trying to teach us something different. You know what I mean? We're in confusion, right? Let's keep going.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of the tribute unto the cities of Judea, of Judah, and came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right. So now they come to collect taxes as usual. You know what I mean? Always, when you conquer people, they always come with taxes. Right. Keep going.
And speak peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit.
But all was deceit, right?
But all was deceit.
Right. So we all know, especially if you're in this school already, right? You know not to trust the oppressor's words. You know what I mean? That even though they come with you cheering, talking tearfully and stuff like that, and smiling and laughing, you know there's war inside their heart, right? And you can find that scripture in Psalms 55 and 21. Is war is in their heart, right? Keep going.
And gave him credence. Gave him credence. He fell suddenly upon the city. And smite it very sore.
Right. So for y'all who don't know, when he says he fell in the city, that means he started attacking it. You know what I mean? That's what happens when he started attacking it, right? Keep going.
And destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire. Right. And pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
Right. Now, this lines up with, can somebody grab me Psalms 137? You know what I mean? Psalms 137, right? And I believe that starts talking about when he says, raise it.
Yeah.
Con, you grab that for me?
I think it's 137, but I think it's verse 7.
Con.
Remember, O Lord, the children.
Con. Start from right there at the water. I mean, because we're going to read about this day inside the Bible. You know what I mean? You got it? All right, cool.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom.
So I could call it the verse.
It's Psalms 137, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
Right.
Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Now, right. So when it says raise it, this is talking about destruction and burning and tearing the city up and burning it down. That's what raise it means. You know what I mean? And this is what happened time and time again. They always raised our cities, right? Go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon, who art thou to be destroyed?
Right.
Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against stones. Right. And that's just a little bit of revenge that the Lord is going to give to us. You know what I mean? We're going to take their babies, their little ones. You know what I mean? It's the Bible says you're going to dash their heads against the stones. You know what I mean? Right. And so we can drop that and let's go back to the book of Maccabees. I know y'all don't read at home, so that's why we want to read a lot. Y'all don't do nothing at home. Y'all don't read no stories at the crib, man. You know what I mean? And we stopped on verse 32. Salaki, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 32.
Right.
But the woman and children took they captive and possessed the cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 33. They built they built the city of David, which a great and strong wall,
Right.
with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made a stronghold of them, made a stronghold for them. Slaki.
Yes, like we can drop that. Let's go down to verse 41, right? Go to verse 41.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one.
So this is something that's very common, you know what I mean? Especially when you deal with like the Romans and Greeks and Babylon and all nations. Matter of fact, every nation does this. They always want us to be one people. You know what I mean? It started with the Tower of Babel, how all the nations came together and they wanted to build a city to God. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? They always preach this one people thing. You know what I mean? We're all one blood. You know what I mean? God loves everybody, right? Even inside the Declaration of Independence, it says we the people and all this other nonsense. But really, in the Declaration of Independence, it was talking about Romans. It was talking about Greeks. They're who the Constitution was written for, right? But people get a hold of our Bible, right? They get a hold of our records, and they want to insert themselves into our Constitution, right? So when the Bible is talking about good things like possessing the earth, you know what I mean? Or the most famous one, Christ coming down to save us, right? They want to be inserted in that, and they want to be part of our glory, but they can't have any of it, right? Let's keep going.
Verse 42.
Right.
And everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Right. So all the other heathens agreed, you know what I mean? But the Israelites, there was some fight in us, you know what I mean? We're going to read about some brothers. Some brothers had some fight, and they still have some fight inside them, you know what I mean? But listen, all the other heathens agreed to it, right? Because they're a part of Babylon. You feel me? As per say the scriptures, they're a part of this. Keep going.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consent to his religion.
It says many of the Israelites consented to his religion, right? Christianity, they consented to it. Everybody, God loves everybody, right? They consented to it. Keep going.
And sacrificed unto idols. And profaned the Sabbath.
Right.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah,
right,
that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right, that we should follow the strange laws of the land, right? Yeah, if you're tired of reading, you can give it to Ace. Ace, you want to read? All right, you go with reading? All right. It's wild. All right, go to 44.
Verse 44. And the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the city of Judah, that they should follow the strange law of the land.
Right.
And forbid burnt offerings, and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple.
Right.
And that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
Right. So that we would profane the Sabbath and our festival days, right? This is all something common that we all know, you know what I mean? And I know these are like a lot of milk scriptures we're going over, but this is something that's common. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, right? We profaned it, you know what I mean? And we don't do the Passover no more, right? Let's keep going.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols.
Right.
And sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and
Profanation.
profanation.
Yeah, just sound out the best you can. I mean, 49.
To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
Right.
Ordinances.
Right. So we're doing so, you know what I mean? They're doing all this so that we will forget our laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? So that they'll make Christmas so fun and glorious that we will forget about we'll forget about our laws, you know what I mean? And we'll look over the fact that Christ isn't born on December 25th. You know what I mean? And don't make Thanksgiving great by saying it's about food and it's about family. You know what I mean? That we forgot about the slaughter that came to us. It came to our Native Indian brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So they're doing all this that we might forget our law. And that's what happened in America. We forgot our law. You know what I mean? This is why we're being targeted right now by the Most High. All right. Let's go to 50.
Verse 50.
Right.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Right. And that was the final order from the king, right? So if you don't do what the king says, that you're going to be killed by him, right? Let's drop down to 54. No, 55. I think that gets to the point.
Verse 55.
Uh-huh.
And burnt incense at the door of their houses,
Mm-hmm.
and in the streets.
Right.
And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire.
Right. So once y'all go back and read the story for yourself, right? The Greeks, they started ransacking Jerusalem. You know what I mean? They started burning our records, burning all of our laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? So that we would really forget them. You know what I mean? Because now there's no record of them, right? Go ahead.
And whosoever was found with any the book of the testament or of any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Mm-hmm.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month,
Mm-hmm.
to as many as were found in the city.
Damn, man. Right. They said they did that every single month, man. Every single month they would go and find the Israelites and track them down and kill them who was not doing it. And those little pockets of Israelites that was about, you know what I mean? We had to run, we had to hide in caves just to preserve, you know what I mean, our records, our laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Keep going.
Now on the 5th and 20th day of the month.
So I can still go to 60.
Verse 60. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women
Mm-hmm.
that had caused their children to be circumcised.
Now remember, we're still at war, you know what I mean? And so some of our women are still fighting back. You know what I mean? They're still keeping the law. So listen, they said they had their children, right? They had their young sons, and they said they still going to circumcise them. You know what I mean? They still did the law in the midst of all the chaos that was round about them, right? So we don't have an excuse. We will always do the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Keep going.
And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Right.
So this is important history that we should never forget. You know what I mean? Our children and infants, they was hanged by their necks. You know what I mean? All the circumcised ones, right? The people that did the law. Keep going.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Right. So they was really firm about it. You know what I mean? They wasn't going to budge for nothing. How we should be, right? Let's go.
Wherefore, the rather to die.
They chose. Wherefore they chose.
Oh, slocky. Therefore,
63.
63. Therefore, the rather to die.
They chose rather to die. Right. Wherefore they chose rather to die. They don't say that. All right, Slocky, keep going then. That's what mine says in the Apocrypha.
That they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant.
Mm-hmm.
So then they died.
Right.
And they was very great wrath upon Israel.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's jump down to chapter 2 real quick, right? So now we're about to get into Mattathias, you know what I mean? This is a brother in Israel who stood against, you know what I mean, the king, and he riled up Israel to fight back. He got an army with him. He fought back, right? Go ahead.
If I could,
Yeah.
What we read and really reminds me of when brothers and sisters was in the South
Mm-hmm.
and they were going against the grain in the South and they would get hung.
Right.
And they would do the picnics where they would pick a nigga
Mm-hmm.
and hang them, because you got the Israelites that are the brothers that are gonna hold to their
Right.
their faith, and then you got the brothers and sisters in the South that was sometimes tired of taking it. They would end up hung. That's what the devil has always done this to us.
Exactly.
That's what it reminds me of.
Nah, it's a very heavy point, you know what I mean? Because there's always like just like Nat Turner, you know what I mean? There was always a pocket of people who resisted unto death, you know what I mean? That
Right.
didn't just go along with what the oppressor has to do for us, you know what I mean? Had to do for us. It's always a pocket. All right, let's go to chapter 2. You know what I mean? Don't worry, I know y'all looking bored of this shit. Listen, we going out of here, yo.
You said bored of this?
Yeah.
No, this is my story.
Your story?
You hitting all the verses. I even wore one of the verses on my shirt today.
All right, bet. No worries. You know what I mean?
Most High praise.
Chilling. All right, verse 1.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
In those days arose Mattathias, son of John,
Mm-hmm.
the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joram,
Right.
from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 5 sons: Jonan, called Cadus, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus,
Uh-huh.
Eleazar, called Avera,
Mhm.
and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphis.
Right. So this is Mattathias and his 5 sons, right? Mattathias and his 5 sons. Man, this is a very strong father right here. You know what I mean? And it's what I aspire to be when I have my children. You know what I mean? How are we going to raise our kids to do this law? You know what I mean? There's only one option. If we're going to do it, or we're going to die. You got something you want to say?
If I could, if I could grab you
Yeah.
a quick precept, because you said something that was completely heavy,
Right. Go ahead.
and it's paraphrased. A man with sons vexes his enemies.
Mhm.
You ever heard that verse?
Nah.
Let me grab that for you.
As you said, yeah. Don't send that shit on me, man. Whoa. Need that. My notebook out. Is that Ecclesiasticus? Or?
I can't remember.
Mhm.
So Rocky, I might have to.
All right, no problem. While you get that right, we'll have Michael Ward keep reading if you want to keep looking for it. Water. All right, Michael Ward. We are in First Maccabees chapter 2, and we stopped at verse 7. Yeah.
Verse 7.
Mhm.
He said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see
this misery
of my people and of the holy city."
right?
And
Stocky. So And that's how I felt, you know what I mean? Like especially when I was talking about the story that that the sister had when she was in the dentist office, right? And how the doctor assaulted her while she was under anesthesia, you know what I mean? I looked and I said, man, it's the misery of my people. You know what I mean? Because I have a heart for my sisters and my brothers outside in the world, you know what I mean? And when they go through trials and tribulations like that, it just makes me more angry, you know what I mean? Makes me want to get more rooted and grounded in its truth. Keep going.
And of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered unto the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers.
Right.
Her temple is become as a man without glory.
Right.
Her glorious vessels are carried away unto captivity.
Right. Go to verse 12.
Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
The Gentiles always profaning our stuff, you know what I mean? They took our shield of David, and now they call it the Star of David. You know what I mean? They took our menorah, they gave it 9 candlesticks when it originally have 7. You know what I mean? They changed the Passover into something horrible. Now everybody thinks that the Talmud, you know what I mean? And also they believe that you're an Israelite by your mother's side, when it's really on your father's side. You know what I mean? So they have taken all of our customs, and they have profaned it, man. Let's keep going.
To what end thereof shall we live any longer? Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came unto the city Modin to make them sacrifice.
Yep. So they still trying to make them do sin, right? Go ahead.
And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said unto Mattathias on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in the city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. And therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment,
right?
Like as all the heathens have done ye, and the men of Judah also.
Right. So all the other heathens have, at this point, conformed to the king Antiochus' rule. You know what I mean?
I got you.
They are confirmed to King Antiochus' rule. You know what I mean? But the Israelites are still the rebels. You know what I mean? We was always the rebels. Keep going.
And such as remain at Jerusalem,
right?
So shall thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
Right, 19.
Then Mattathias answered and speak with a loud voice through all the nations that are under the king's dominion. Obey him,
right,
and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers,
right,
and give consent to his commandments. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
Right. So Mattathias is saying, man, all these other religions gave up their law, statutes, and commandments, or whatever they was doing. But he says him and his sons, right? They're going to be for the covenant of our fathers. You know what I mean? And this is exactly what Joshua. Oh shit! This is exactly what Joshua said. You know, it's like you. You know what I mean? When he said, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Now, I mean, he got that from Joshua. So this is what Mattathias is saying. You know what I mean? And him and his sons, we always going to do the work of the Lord, right? Keep going.
God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left.
Right. So just like what Joshua said, that's like what I read in the beginning. Like he's not going to break free. He's not going to break to the left or to the right. He's going to go to the straight and narrow path. You know what I mean? He's going to keep going down, right? He's not going to deviate from the laws of God, no matter what is in front of him. You know what I mean? No matter what adversary is in front of him, he's going to do these laws, statutes, and commandments, as we all should. You know what I mean? Let's keep going. We're almost finished, y'all.
Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one out of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Molten, according to the king's commandment. Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
Right, he was inflamed with zeal, man. He's seen this cat just start sacrificing on the altar, and man, he's looking at this boy like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" Keep going.
And his reins trembled.
Mm-hmm.
Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
Damn, killed that nigga, boy, right up on the altar, right? Keep going.
Also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time. Right. And the altar he pulled down.
Right, man. Mattathias just went on a rampage, man. He started murking everybody that was against the Most High, man. He started murking all of them, right? Keep going. 26.
Verse 26. Thus dealeth he zealously for the law of God, like as Phineas did unto
Yeah, just sound the best you can.
Zambri,
the
son of Solomon,
right?
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Now remember the theme of this class tonight. You know what I mean? It's like these brothers are going to war against us. You know what I mean? These other nations are going to war against us, and they war against us, right? We are going to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments no matter what. You know what I mean? Keep going.
28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city.
Right. So they left all that and they went to the mountains, right? Keep going.
Then many that saw after justice and judgment went down unto the wilderness to dwell there. Both they and the children and their wives and their cattle became afflictions increased because afflictions increased sore upon them. Now when it was told to the king's servant and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness, they pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them,
right?
And made war against them on the Sabbath day.
Right. So now these heathens. So when we have left, when we had ran, we went inside the wilderness, right? And so now the heathens are come after us, of course, and they are camped against us on the Sabbath day, right? They're attacking us at the Sabbath day, right? Keep going. And they know, and these heathens know that on the Sabbath day, we can't do no servile work. You know what I mean? We can't do no work, and it's our holy day. It's our day of rest for us, right? Keep going.
And they said unto them, let that which ye have done hitherto suffice come forth, and do according to the commandments of the king, and ye shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandments,
right?
To profane the Sabbath day,
right? So even though they're about to be attacked and killed or unalive, you know what I mean? They said, we're not going to do anything to disrupt the Sabbath day. You know what I mean? And I know there's some brothers out there that are zealous about the law, but if somebody is attacking you on a Sabbath day, you know what I mean? Or if somebody runs up in your crib, you have a right to defend yourself. First of all, keep going.
So they gave them the battle with all speed.
Right.
Howbeit, they answered them not.
Right.
Neither cast they a stone at them.
Right. So it says they answered them not. Like they didn't return fire with fire. You know what I mean? They let them attack them, and they just sat there as we do today. You know what I mean? Look at what's that white boy's name who ran inside that church? Yeah, Dylan Roof. You know what I mean? We didn't fight back. We prayed for him inside that church. You know what I mean? We and it says in this Bible, we didn't even cast a stone at them. Like we just let these people come up and they killed our wives, they killed our children, they killed us. You know what I mean? We just sat there because it was Sabbath day, right? Let's go.
Verse 36. Slaki. Nor stop the places where they lay hid. Slaki. Where they lay hid, but said, let us die all in our innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven and earth will testify for us that ye put us to death wrongfully.
Mm-hmm.
So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath.
Right.
And they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle, to the number of 1,000 people. And when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore.
Right. They were sad that their brothers died, right? Last verse.
And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done,
right,
and fight not of our lives in laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
Right. Go to verse 41 too. Salakia.
Verse 41. At that time thereof, they decreased, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him. Salakia, we will fight against him, neither will we die all as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
Right. So that's what Mattathias said, you know what I mean? He's not going to be like our brothers and just sit there and get killed. You know what I mean? Like, as we do these laws, statutes, and commandments, the other nations are going to hate this. You know what I mean? This is our power and our structure, right? That being said, pass the class over to priest and officer Paul.
the ISUPK security announcements. All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister enters the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to shed themselves in the world. If a brother or sister or slacking after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Also remember tithes, which is a commandment that can be found in Numbers 18 and 21, and also Malachi 3, 8 through 10. And in Hebrew, it is my Isupk, which is 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. We do have a free will offering or a priest fund, which is not mandatory, but it's greatly appreciated. It can be money, bottles, a gift, whatever the Lord puts on your heart. Up and coming holy convocations. Let me see. We have the Feast of Purim, I believe.
Con.
What is the next one? It is the
Feast of Purim.
It's the Feast of Purim.
Con.
You said Laha or
Con. Yeah.
All right, so the Feast of Purim, that can be found in Esther 9, verses 9. Salakia. Esther chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Also, if you want to be a trooper in a school, remember to wear all black boots, pants, shirt, and headband. And with that being said, men of Israel, Amijah, which means to stand. Men of Israel, minus Shabbat, Amijah, Barak, Got you in top. You on SAR. We're going to turn and give the sisters a please salute. All right. Men of Israel, minus Shabbat, Amijah, Barak, Shalom. Shalom. Good night. Shalom. Al Shamar. Guys, with talk class, it's myths.